Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where I talk about faith, relationship events, and lifestyle. So today we're going to be talking about 5 things you must know before you go on your first date. Stay tuned. So the reason I'm shooting this YouTube video is because I realized that some ladies and even guys, when going on their first dates, do not really know what to do. What did she not do? What did she say? How did she say it? And what did she not say? So today I'm going to be enlightening you about 5 things you must know before going on your first date. So the first one on the list today that I'm going to be talking about is the fact that when going on your first date, you want to know that the date is not about me, it's about us. And what this really means is that while you're in your first date, you're trying to converse with the other party. You want to be certain that you're not just the only person communicating. You're not just the only person conversing. You're not just the only person discussing or talking or having the whole discussion. You want to be certain that the discussion does not evolve all around you. So as you're talking, you're throwing question at the other person. As you're talking, you're throwing question at the other person. And another thing I would like to talk about under this point is that when going on your first date, you want to go there with an undivided attention. So if you can put on your phone on silent, you want to put your phone on silent. If you can switch off the phone, you want to switch off the phone, because you really want to communicate to the person that, I'm really here for you. I value the time. I value your time. I value you being here, and I really want to give this time of the day or this time of my day to you, and I really want us to have a nice time together. So it will not really be nice when you are with someone and the person is discussing with you and you're lost in thought, or the person is discussing with you and you're pressing your phone and you are not really decoding or what he or she is saying the way you ought to. It's really not a good thing. So you don't want to make that mistake on your first date. And the second thing I'm going to be talking about is that you want to appear so simple, classy, modest, and decent. So I understand the fact that we ladies, we really want to, you want to really show up, and the guy will be like, who is this? Oh, well, that is really beautiful. I understand. What I'm trying to say is that you can actually still appear very classy, beautiful, modest, and, decent. And, you still be very attractive. So you don't want to dress too much, and you don't want to dress down as well, right? So you want to really appear moderately, and you want to appear as beautiful as you can. So let me be more practical about this. Probably you've been invited on a dinner date. You want to put on probably a free kind of gown or a fitted gown, not too tight. A dress that you'll be comfortable on. And you want to put on a shoe or heels that is not too high, probably a wedge heels that you're so comfortable on. And you want to put on probably a sturdy earring or a small earring, or it might actually be long, like something I'm putting on right now, and then probably a tiny neck piece that is not really pronounced. And you want to do light makeup. Something that is not totally changing your look or the way you look, right? So you want to be modest. At the same time, you want to be decent, you want to be classy. So you're not dressing too much and you're not dressing down on yourself. And what this really does is it will help the other party have the right perception of you. I understand the fact that you want attraction, you want the guy to probably focus on you, but I want you to understand the fact that you don't want the guy to be so distracted by the way you look as well, right? So you're not discussing, you're not telling him, you're not just with him, and the guy is totally lost in your eyeshadow or in your makeup, trying to decode if this is how you truly look, or if this is your real face or this is not your real face. You get it? Okay, guys. So the third point I'm going to be talking about today is the fact that when going on your first date, you want to appear as honest as possible, right? So ensure that whatever it is you're going to be saying is full of honesty. So you don't want to say what you're not. You don't want to tell the babe or the guy who you are not. You don't want to tell him you have a house in Banana Island when you do not have any. So you don't want to fake who you are not. I believe that someone who loves you will truly love you for who you are and not, what you have, right? So I want you to really be true with yourself and with the other party when going your first date. And that does not necessarily speak to your conversation alone. It speaks to your dressing as well. So I understand the fact that some ladies really want to appear shapy, and I understand. And then we have some things we sell now, probably like boots that you can wear to give that hips that you do not really have. I'm not judging, I'm not condemning, neither am I talking down against it. I'm just saying that you want to appear as honest as possible. So if you feel like you are not that confident in your shape, which I feel you should, you might want to put on probably a free dress kind of that is not really defining the way you look, right? But that is still you. So you putting on, wearing an extra hips to give you the hips you do not have, and then probably when the guy is meeting you the next time, you're appearing totally different from the person he met the other day is totally wrong. So you want to be honest as much as possible. So the fourth point I'm going to be talking about today is the fact that when going on your first date, you don't want to go with the mindset this is an escape from my dilemma. So you don't want to go to your first date with the mindset of, trying to escape from your dilemma. And what I mean by this is the fact that I understand the fact that life is not balanced, right? So we have our high moments, we have our low moments, things do not really always go the way we want them to, right? But you don't want to appear as though you are suffering. You don't want to appear as though you are down. You don't want to appear as though, you don't want to appear like what you're going through, like in a nutshell. So you don't really want to appear as though you want him to pity you, so that be like, you're looking so down, you're looking and then you want to appear as though nothing is wrong with you. You want to really put your worries, your challenges, whatever it is you're battling with behind you, and really appear in your real self. You want to appear like nothing is bothering you, not because you want to fake what you are not, or you want to fake how you're not feeling. That is not the issue here. The issue is that you really want, it is the perception of you want the other person to have. So on your first date, you don't want to communicate that I'm always this sad kind of person, I'm always this moody, I always have mood swing, my situation and challenges used to define my mood. My mood is not always constant. You don't want to appear like that, right? So I understand the fact that you might be going through a lot. For instance, probably you just had a breakup with your ex, or you just had breakfast, like people used to say, right? You don't want to go there talking about your past relationship, what the guy did wrong, what he didn't do wrong, how he fucked up, how he's been messing around with other ladies. If you actually go to your first date discussing stuff like this, you are communicating to the other party that, okay, you are probably not over your past relationship yet, and you never can tell where you see your husband. You never can tell. So you communicating to the other party that, okay, I'm still in love with this guy. I do not like the way he behaved, but because you're talking about your ex, you bringing discussion around your ex up. When in a date with someone else, is like telling the person that I'm not over this guy, or I'm not over this babe yet. That is what you're insinuating. So you just want to be yourself, not try to bring your issues on the table that day. You just want to be yourself, be your fun self, your real self, as though nothing is bothering you. That way you are creating a right perception of who you are, and it shows you're very mature and you know how to undo your situations without necessarily bringing other people into it. Do you get the gist? So the fifth point I'm going to be talking about today is the fact that you don't want to say everything about you on your first date. You don't want to say everything about you on your first date. I've seen a lot of people make this mistake while going on the first date. Like, okay, it's like I'm running out of words. I don't know what to say anymore. So let me just tell him everything about me. That is why I said in the first point that your conversation is meant to be a two-way something. It's not meant to be like a solo date. Like, you're not meant to be conversing. You're not meant to be discussing alone. As you're talking, you're throwing question at the other person. You ensure that the other person is discussing as well. That way, you won't, necessarily be the only one talking, and you won't have to exhaust your list or exhaust what you want to say, right? Because you guys are communicating, you're both discussing. So as you're talking, he's talking as well. It's not a one-sided kind of date or a solo date. So what I'm trying to say is that you don't want to tell the other party everything about you. You see, relationship is an adventure. Yeah, so the guy's meant to discover you. There are some things he's meant to discover. Like, for instance, now the guy is asking you what's your love language. You might not necessarily tell him on the first date, like, okay, I want you to really get to know that. I want you to discover that. So the guy actually has something to look forward to when he's meeting you. It's like you already gave him or her a homework that you want him or her to do. Do you understand? So it's not like on the first day you're telling him this is what I like, this is what I don't like, my likes, my dislikes. So the guy practically know everything about you. So when he's coming the next time, he already got you a flower because he knows you like flowers so much. So you don't want to do that. So even when he's coming the next date, he got you something and he's like, I really do not know if it's what you like, but I just want to say I appreciate our last conversation, our last date, and I just want to celebrate you with this token of mine from the depth of my heart. That makes sense than he already knowing what to give to you, what to do, what not to do, telling about your dislikes, your likes. What I'm trying to say is that you don't need to tell the guy or the babe everything about you on your first date. You don't need it. Yeah, let him discover some things about you. Relationship is meant to be an adventure. So give him reasons to want to meet you the next time. Give him reasons to want to meet you. So you want to put him in some kind of suspense, right? So let him want to meet you the next time. So it's fun that way. So the last point I'm going to be talking about today, oh, I think that's like 5th point already. So let me give you one more. And it is the fact that date is not cheap. So you want to be appreciative. Date is not cheap. You want to be appreciative. So, you just want to say thank you probably after the date and you're on your way home, you're going back home. You want to say, I really appreciate the date tonight. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you. And when I'm talking like this, I'm not necessarily referring to the ladies alone. The guys might be thinking that after I paid for your tea fare and I paid for the food, I mean everything we had, so you should at least thank me. The lady left her house, spent like about 1 hour of her life with you that night. So you want to be appreciative as well. So you want to say thank you, babe, thank you for coming around tonight. I want to say thank you, I really appreciate you. That might be in form of a text, that might be like, okay, probably when you get home, you want to call him or her to tell him, oh, I'm home now. I just want to say thank you for the date. I really appreciate. God bless you. That doesn't hurt and that doesn't bite, right? So you want to be appreciative as much as you can. It's really communicating something beautiful to him or her. So you are really trying to tell the guy that I do not take your kindness for granted and I'm so appreciative. So be assured that, you are safe with me. Whatever it is you do for me, I'm going to appreciate it. I'm not an ingrate. And, that is beautiful. So that will be all today from me to you about the things you must know before going on your first date. So I believe you learned 1 or 2 things today. So join me next week as I will be taking you on another journey around faith, relationship events, and lifestyle. So thank you for seeing today's video. I really do appreciate. If you are new here, you want to subscribe, you want to like, you want to comment, you want to share. Bye.